Greetings in Jesus' wonderful name and welcome to Riverside Chats. I began a series on women who met the Master. We are looking at Martha of Bethany. We are looking at some major themes that emerge from the life of Martha. Martha was not as famous as Mary. Jesus spoke up for Mary when Martha was just disillusioned and discouraged that no one was helping her with the chores. Mary was sitting at Jesus' feet, but in that instant, sitting was more productive than a whole lot of activity. Today, we're going to look at this truth that Jesus cares about the inner life. God is not merely impressed by activity. Some of us are busy in the kingdom. We are so busy that we are about to experience burnout. Some pastors have a mental breakdown because they're working too hard. We need to have a balance between work and waiting on God. Jesus is not impressed by mere activity. Isaiah declared so wonderfully, "Those that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They will mount up with wings as eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint." God is not merely impressed by activity. Busyness is not the same as spirituality. Some people are perfectionists. I watched a worship group once learn a song and they went over and over it. It was a Hillsong song, and the lady who tried to do the main part of the singing tried to have all of emotions exactly like the video. But it was so empty and flat. It had no originality. It had no authenticity. Matt Redman was fired by his pastor, or almost fired, because the worship was not authentic enough. The pastor said, "Matt, take some time off. Come back with something that's really creative." Matt Redman came back with the song, "When the Music Fades and All is Swept Away." Then he came up with the refrain, "It's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus." I'm not against singing other people's songs, but you need to sing your own songs sometime. I've done that. God has given me songs in the night. I never looked at myself as a songwriter. One day my wife remarked, "Did you write that song, or is it one of the songs that have been published over the years?" I said, "I wrote it." Your song may not be up to scruff at the beginning, but write your own song. Let your worship be authentic. Let it come out of your own situation. Don't try to impose somebody else's culture on yours. Write in your own style, in your own version. One of my popular ways for writing songs are not popular. The one I write the most is taking scripture verbatim sometimes and just putting a tune to it. And then it's based on theology, to teach theology. You know, Riverside Chats, it's another name for it is theology in bite sizes. We take a little bit and teach you. We're teaching on worship today. We're teaching on how God is not carried away by activity. You can be so busy and miss God in all of it. God is not impressed by mere activity. Again, worship while you work. And then worship when you don't work too. The next truth we learn from Mary is faith grows through trials. Or the truth we learn from Martha, I get confused because Mary is so much popular in Christian circles than Martha. Martha's greatest revelation of Christ came in a moment of suffering, in a moment of grief. God is always working for our good. We were sitting around the table just now, my wife and I were talking. And I was listening to something on how India and Indian families are encouraging some of their people to come back to India. India has received a lot or America has opened a lot of visas in the past years to Indians. Indians are one of the highest earning communities here in the United States. For some reason, it's not the same in India. India's come up a long way, but for many years, the British held them back. You know, when India was a nation without British influence years ago, centuries ago, they had one of the highest GPDs in the entire world. It was a wealthy country, although there was mass poverty in India too. There's such big discrepancies. I've been to India, I'm of Indian origin, and one of the things I was appalled at how next to a 5-star building there was a shack. There was abject poverty. Things are changing. The British put them years behind. The British siphoned $45 trillion out of India. But this commentator was saying, well, you know, Indians have contributed a lot to the American economy. It seems like the current administration is cutting down on visas, and some people have been waiting years for a visa. You can understand that America is for Americans. When I talk of Americans, I'm not talking about white Americans. I'm an American. I've come from South Africa. I'm of Indian origin. But countries need to develop their own infrastructure. While Indians do great in America, America's for all people. Countries need to be prosperous in their own right. I don't want to get political. There are two sides to the coin. Faith grows through trials. I've had many tears and sorrows, many questions about tomorrows. Oftentimes I wouldn't know right from wrong. But in every situation, God gave blessed consolation. Taught me trials come to only make me strong. Through it all, He was with me through it all. I've learned to trust in Jesus. I've learned to trust in God. I was talking about my wife and I at the dining table, and we were talking. And I thought, what lengths God went to get me here in the United States. I was not looking to permanently reside here. I was married. A wife had died. That was one of the worst experiences of my life. But then out of that worst experience came some of the greatest blessings. I came to the United States. I was here when she died, back in South Africa. God healed me from her death. I married my current wife, Cheryl. We are married now for 38 years. And I thought I never sought for it, but God opened it right before my eyes. What was the worst experience became the ticket to a future in America. We don't see the whole picture at one time. We see just little snippets of it. But God is writing your story. It's called a meta story. He's not over with you yet. God's still working on me to make me what I ought to be. It took him a week to make the moon and the stars, the sun, the earth, and Jupiter and Mars. Behold how patient he must be. God is still working on me. Faith grows through trials. In a deep moment of despair, Martha uttered, Lord, still, although my brother's dead, if you ask anything of God, he will give it to you. She believed. Only believe, all things are possible. Only believe. Martha also declared, You're the Christ, the Son of the living God. Do you see God for who he is in your grief? Or do you see your grief? Sometimes we can be selfish. All we think about is ourselves. We need to think on God, not exclusively at ourselves. We learned in this session that God is not impressed merely by activity. He wants spirituality with activity. Faith grows through trials. You can learn the greatest lessons in the deepest of human problems. God bless you and love you.